Have you ever wanted to be involved in a literary cafe? That's the topic I'm addressing in today's The Right Question. I'm Daphne Gray Grant, the Publication Coach. I have a question from Khalid Akli, a writer who's currently based in Paris, France. Here's what he's asked via email. I'm contacting you to seek advice from my colleague Kalkadan. We both work in IT in France, and we share the same passion for literature. Kalkadan is of Ethiopian origin and would like to relocate to Ethiopia in a few years to launch a literature cafe. Its main objective would be to promote literature in a cafe environment. Are you aware of such projects, and what would you recommend from a literature standpoint to take into consideration? Thanks for your question, Khalid. While there are many literary cafes around the world, and I include a link listing them below, I'm not aware of any in the city where I live, Vancouver. But I'm a serious reader and I enjoy my coffee, so I can tell you what would entice me to go to such a place. First, I think it's important to decorate the room in a way that would make your theme obvious. This could relate to furniture, pictures on walls, and perhaps even statues. All of these images should relate to the type of literature you want to promote. So, for example, if you're going to focus on Ethiopian writers, you might want to have images of Haile Gerima, Nega Meslekia, or Haile Selassie. On the other hand, if you want to promote a more Eurocentric point of view, you could have images of Virginia Woolf, T.S. Eliot, and George Orwell. As part of the decorating theme, I'd suggest you have a bookshelf stacked with books of the authors you want to promote. These don't have to be new books, by the way, because that might be a considerable expense. Secondhand books would be absolutely fine. In fact, you could even encourage your patrons to trade books. Allow them to take one from your shelves if they leave another one behind. And of course, you'll want a bulletin board where people can put up signs for events and things like items they want to sell and piano lessons. This is a great way of engaging with the community and perhaps turning your cafe into a bit of a neighborhood hub. It would be especially worthwhile to have an area of the cafe that could be turned into a stage. You'd want to establish a monthly, perhaps even weekly, performance where writers could read from their work. The live performance aspect of your cafe would really differentiate you from other cafes in town. By the way, you'll also want to develop a policy about how long you'll allow writers to hang out without buying another cup. I've known people who will plant themselves in a cafe for more than 4 hours nursing a single coffee. The economics of that are obviously bad for a cafe owner. To make the place economically sustainable, perhaps you could suggest that everyone needs to buy another coffee every hour or so. Just be sure to communicate this clearly. Also, you'll need to make some decisions about accommodating laptops. If you do that, you'll need plenty of outlets and Wi-Fi accessibility. These are both additional expenses that will encourage patrons to stay there longer. So think really hard about whether you want to encourage that. For this reason, I'd suggest you ensure that your cafe is some distance from a local university. This might seem paradoxical because university students sound like your core audience, but such students are famous for having almost unlimited time and extraordinarily limited budgets. A neighborhood cafe near where I live went out of business for precisely this reason. I don't know anything official about the success of neighborhood cafes in North America, but it does seem potentially problematic that buying a $3 or $4 coffee should entitle you to sit for many hours. And I know even less about the success of such ventures in Ethiopia. To me, the literary part of the model seems fairly straightforward. The tough thing will be making money at it. Finally, let me wrap up with a quote from the late American writer Louisa May Alcott, author of Little Women. "I'd rather take coffee than compliments just now." Khalid, I think a literary cafe is a terrific idea. I just encourage your colleague to do some careful business planning before trying to make a go of it. If you'd like to learn how to stop procrastinating and make your writing a happier, more fulfilling job, take a look at my new book, Your Happy First Draft. It's not available in bookstores or via Amazon. The only place to buy it is via my website, link below.